Hi there, this is Christoph. Here's a very quick tutorial on how to review a pull request on the Open Design Guide. So the first thing I need to do is from the homepage here, I have this very handy link that's called File Issues, which takes us to the repository, the place where the files for this project are hosted. Issue, generally, I'll keep it very top level. You have the code. These are the files that actually are live right now. Then I have issues, which are kind of to-dos or discussion topics. It's like, I see something needs to be changed. I put it in text form there. People can discuss it. And at some point, maybe it turns into an actual change. So actual change proposals are called pull requests. So I'll go into pull request here. And those are all mine, so it's kind of weird, but GitHub lets me review my own pull requests. So I'm going to do that, but you should review other people. That's the more helpful thing. So I'm going to review the revision of chapter 2 based on the reading session. So here in the pull request, there's a lot on the UI. You can ignore most of it. Basically, there's a comment here that explains, like, this was the goal of these changes. This is where they came from. Right? The title's already pretty clear. This should be just about the chapter 2 page. And the feedback is from the reading session, what everyone kind of agreed upon and the ideas everyone had. So the description usually just kind of repeats that a little bit. Any thoughts about maybe things that came up or the proposed changes, something to give feedback on. And I also put in a preview link too. So if you want to preview the actual page with the proposed changes, you can go here. And then this is the page I worked on with my changes, right? You can go to the live site and see it, let's say chapter 2. This is now before the changes. Yeah, we do see some differences there. This is after my changes. But it's kind of hard to compare it like this, right? Going back and forth, it doesn't make much sense. So the very handy way to review something here is you go to Files Changed. Then I see a list on the left here. You can ignore a lot of stuff here. Again, I see, okay, some CSS has changed. I don't care about that. This is about chapter 2, so I'm just going to focus here. I'm going to click on chapter 2 because this file got a lot of changes. It doesn't show the diff, which is basically the difference between the current version, the live version, and the changes. It doesn't show it by default, so I need to press diff here. Okay, now I'm looking at chapter 2, the content. And you can see in red, this is what was changed or removed. And green is the new addition. So here in this line, I can see, okay, D was capitalized, R was capitalized, very simple, right? Makes sense. It's consistent that way. Here, a whole little sentence, like multiple sentences were changed. I can see, okay, the word at the expense of was removed. And it was replaced here with little emphasis. Okay, that seems like it's a better framing, a little bit more neutral, right? And then here a link was inserted, a link to the open source page, like a reference back if someone wants to read about open source. And so I can go in here and I can, if everything looks good to me, then I'm like, okay. But if, let's say, I don't agree with something, then, I can just press the little plus button and I say, I don't think this change makes the copy more clear. I think we should use the term ABC, whatever, right? So I can leave my feedback in here. Now, if I actually want to propose another change here, right, for example, I can press this button here and add a suggestion. Then it's going to copy all this stuff in, like the actual text. Then I can say, today UX design, I don't like the word crucial, I'll change it to important. And then when I preview, right, it's going to create the same thing for me, right? Basically taking like the proposal, showing the text, I can make my changes, and then it makes it very easy for someone to kind of go in, see the changes and say, yeah, I'm okay with that, or, I think we should do it this way. So that's kind of the basics of reviewing someone's changes. When you're reviewing someone's changes, you should try to focus on their changes. Like if you have your own ideas about what the content should be like, they don't go into someone else's pull request, right? If you want to edit, a section all the way down the page that this person hasn't touched, then, do that separately in like your own pull request. So once I'm happy, I can just say, add a single comment, and it's just going to post this comment. The person who created this pull request is going to get an email that says, so-and-so has reviewed this part. Here's what they said. Or I can start a review. I'll do that. I'm going to cancel it afterwards, of course. And you can see up on the top here, it says finish your review. And then 1, that means I had 1 change. And then I'm going to write something over here, blah, 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 blah. Add review comment. Now I have 2. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to finish my review. And that's where I can leave another, like a summary. I can basically say something like, okay, this is generally good, but I would love to see if you could adjust this and that. Or totally good to go, let's put this live. Or, I have huge problems with this, we cannot do it. So I can type stuff in and I can say, this is just a comment, right? I'm not approving it, I'm not being against it, it's just my thoughts. Or I can say, cool, I approve of this, right? And then that means, okay, I am okay that these changes can go live right now. I am happy with that. Or request changes, which means explicitly, like, I'm not okay with this as is. I want something to be worked on. And that would then, be the comments that I've left. So, and once I do that, the person gets then also an email and they can act on it. And then we kind of, within these comments here, we can kind of go back and forth until everyone's happy, and then the content can be merged. The merging happens like over here. Like there's a thing called squash and merge or merge, right? Once everyone's approved of it, everyone's okay with it, we press the merge button. That means, okay, we're going to take those changes in this pull request, we put them in the files that are live, and then, 2 minutes later or so, the live website will be updated with the changes. This pull request will be closed. You can still refer to it in the future, like there's a history of everything. And that's kind of the process. So that would be the ideal way of giving feedback. Giving feedback on images and layout is a little bit different, right? But I'm just focusing here on the very basics of how to review text changes. So hopefully this is helpful. Let me know.